Good morning. Well, today we're going to talk about script writing and the basics of script writing. Let's say you're working on a YouTube skit or a screenplay or a short skit, whatever you're working on. Script formatting helps you organize your thoughts, and it actually lets you see how long something is, how long it's going to be when you film it, how long it will be on screen. And there's a couple ways to make sure you've done that. So I'm going to just talk about the basics here. I'm going to start down here, a new document, okay, and just pretend I'm starting a new script. Okay, the very first thing, people will argue what it is, but I'm going to just tell you the basics here. We're going to set the font to Courier New size 12. This has been the used font for the history of script writing for a long time. So the very first thing that you see, I'm going to use the caps lock key, caps lock, and I'm going to press the caps lock, turn caps lock on. Usually have a little light on your keyboard, and I'm going to write INT, interior. If this movie is starting on the inside, you would write interior. If it's starting on the outside, you would write EXT for exterior. So it's either going to be INT or EXT. I'm going to start interior, hit one space, then I'm going to write where it's taking place. Mr. Giles' classroom. And then I'm going to hit space and a dash and a space, and then I'm going to say if it's day or night. I'm going to say day. So you would either indicate day or night, and you would indicate if it's inside or outside, and you indicate the location. It could be a space station, it could be on the surface of the moon, it could be wherever you want it to be. I mean, gosh, that location's kind of boring. I should make that a little more exciting. Let's say the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid. Okay, you're gonna hit enter once, twice. Now, if you're gonna have an action, something that the character is doing on screen, you're gonna describe it. And then this is like a regular paragraph with no indent. So I'm just gonna write, we see, all caps, the name of the character. We see John walking slowly towards the pyramid. He has a flashlight and a machete. He seems scared. Okay, there we go. It's setting the scene, and then next to him, Francisco. Oops, all caps. I'm gonna hit the caps lock key. Francisco. Caps lock off. His trusted companion of 25 years. Okay, enter. Enter. So now we're gonna get into dialogue. These are the last two things, really. If you can do these basic things, all the other stuff you can look up. There's a lot of resources. I just looked up basic script. I found a video how to format a screenplay. It's a little more complex. I found just an image here, and this has some really good information about the basics of a script. But in a Google Doc, I'm just making it as simple as I can. So for dialogue, I'm going to hit the tab key, and this is really important. The tab key is right above the caps lock key. I showed you that earlier. You're going to hit tab. I'm going to do 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to write the name of the character who's talking in all caps. So I'm going to start with Francisco. And if I want to be smart too, I can Control-C, copy that if I've already done that. 1, 2, 3, oops, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to paste it, and there's my name. I'm going to turn the caps lock key off. I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to hit the delete key and go back, because the dialogue is going to start in a different spot. It is no longer tabbed 5 over. I'm going to tab over 3. 1, 2, 3. Now there is an exact spot that a Hollywood script wants it to be. I'm basically eyeballing it, so we're going to stick it here. Francisco is going to say something. This is going to be like a regular sentence, but it is going to stop. So if you see my mouse here, we're going to stop over around 5.5, and that is just how spacing is roughly done for dialogue. It never goes all the way over. It never fills the whole screen, and it's so you can find things. But anyway, here we go. So I'm going to have him say something. Oops, it's all caps. I'm not sure why he loves eating. I'm probably hungry. Now, you were supposed to, so I'm going to scroll this up. If you look here, we're gonna stop at about 5.5. If the word was like, if he was gonna, what's for dinner tonight, okay, I would actually click in front of the T and hit the return key, and it would drop it right there, and I'm gonna click at the end, and I'm gonna hit a period, and I'm gonna hit enter. Now it's gonna auto capitalize that. I'm gonna just hit Control Z so it undoes the auto capitalize. I'm gonna hit enter again. I'm gonna hit tab to get to the next guy, and then now John is gonna respond, all caps, and I'm gonna hit enter, and I'm gonna hit the backspace twice and tab. I'm gonna make sure I'm over at tab 3 lined up with this other one. Notice there's only one space between each section. There's only one space, okay, and there's no double spacing. And I'm gonna have John respond. I'm not sure what's for dinner. We have, okay, now the have is gonna be on the next line, so I'm gonna hit enter. We have to catch something, I guess. Also, did you just hear that sound? Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a little description now. So I'm gonna hit the backspace key so I can get over again to the side. I'm gonna just hit it a couple times. I'm gonna make sure that I've got my one space there. Yep. And we'll see. Francisco, I'm gonna copy and paste that. Control C so I don't have to type it over again. Francisco turns his head and sees a large mummy-like creature approaching. I capitalized the mummy because he's like a new character. And notice I just go all the way to the side. I don't hit tab at all. I just keep writing. He instantly jumps back and reaches for his machete to fight off what he thinks is an attack by the mummy. You don't have to capitalize mummy over and over again, but I'm just going to do it in this case. Normally you just capitalize it the first time it appears. But anyway, so that's your basic script formatting. That's really all you need to know to get a very basic, good, semi-professional looking script on the page. If we change locations, interior, hospital, night, maybe maybe he ends up in the hospital because he hurts himself. I could go on, but that's what you do. Anytime you change a scene, you put the new interior or exterior, day or night, and anytime you have action, you keep it like this. Those are the basics of a script. So what are you gonna write? I'm kind of curious to see. You know, feel free to share your ideas with friends. And the other thing, just a bonus, every page of script equals 1 minute of film time. So if you format it like this, you'll actually get to see how long your script is. And also, a 1 page of script takes about an hour to film, roughly, depending on what the depending on how complicated it is or how much action there is. They figure about an hour a page. Now, for bigger films, I mean, you know, you could take a whole day filming 1 page or 1 paragraph. If it's some, you know, epic battle occurs, that could take a really long time. But if it's simple description, someone walking, something picking something up, you know, you can expect to take about an hour to film a page of script. If it's just dialogue, it could be a lot faster. Some shows or whatever have a lot more dialogue. So there you go. There's some script formatting basics I want you to take into your writing and try and use that for the next project you create for whatever project you're making. All right. Thanks.